One regional academic assesses the manifestos of the two parties contesting the upcoming polls in Dominica. And in sports, a new report says this year's Caribbean Premier League contributed millions to the region's economy. I'm Nicole Best with the Caribbean in 10. I'll have the details after the break.
We are on Facebook. Join the growing Caribvision community today. Go to www.facebook.com/Caribvision. Be a part of our online family, whether you are located in Canada, the USA, or even farther away. Caribvision is about what it means to be from the Caribbean, our culture, our lifestyles, our voices. Log on or switch us on. Caribvision.
One regional academic says the manifestos of the two political parties contesting the December 8th general elections in Dominica are not so different. Professor Brian Meeks is the director of the Sir Arthur Lewis Institute for Social and Economic Studies, UWI Mona campus. He says what he's not seeing is a longer visionary notion for the midterm.
Not a lot of difference between the two parties. There are just so many things that Dominicans can think about what is possible for us to do. But having said that, what is missing, I think, and this is where I return to my text, is that it is not all clear as to whether there's any broader, more visionary strategy for midterm growth and prosperity.
Professor Meeks was delivering the 9th annual Dame Eugenia Charles Memorial Lecture in Roseau on Thursday night.
Some of them are really attractive. I think, for example, that they, and I don't want to jump in here in the deep end of Dominican politics, but the geothermal initiative is very interesting, looking at somebody from Jamaica, the idea of just dealing with the power thing one time. It may not be feasible. I don't want to go there. But it is very interesting as a concept. Some of the things on the United Workers' Party's platform in terms of their economic strategy are very interesting. But then I open the Labour Party's manifesto, and I'm seeing similar things written in a different way.
Trinidad and Tobago's former Prime Minister Patrick Manning says his party, the main opposition People's National Movement, the PNM, plans to discipline him. This after he hinted earlier this week of plans of contesting the next general elections. Manning says he received communication from the party summoning him to a meeting next Wednesday. But the former Prime Minister is now threatening to make public letters between himself and the PNM leader, Dr. Keith Rowley. More in this report from Jabari Fraser of TV6 News.
Mr. Speaker, I see acrimony. Mr. Speaker, I see animosity. And Mr. Speaker, I see a man completely out of control. Completely out of control, Mr. Speaker. That is what I see.
Their beef is nothing new, and according to Mr. Manning, it dates back to 1986 and even featured in the UNC's 2010 election campaign. This latest reincarnation revolves around Mr. Manning's sacred seat of San Fernando East. It's a constituency he has represented since 1971. Mr. Manning posted this note on his Facebook page. He makes note of a conversation he had with PNM leader Dr. Keith Rowley in early November. Dr. Rowley solicited a position on whether or not Mr. Manning would be contesting the seat in the coming general election after suffering a debilitating stroke in 2012. Mr. Manning promised a response in 2 weeks. He attempted to set up a meeting with Dr. Rowley on Monday, 24th November. Dr. Rowley was out of the country. On Tuesday, news broke that Mr. Manning was considering putting up himself for nomination to contest the seat. In a letter to Dr. Rowley, Mr. Manning says, "I was summoned to see you in the constituency executive," and another letter the following day, Wednesday, indicating that the party's executive will be present at the meeting instead. He continues, "The configuration of the proposed meeting suggests that there is some serious misunderstanding that I have committed and some infraction, and am being hauled before the party's executive for disciplinary reasons. Neither of your two letters has stated what the charges are, nor the proposed agenda.
The Pan American Health Organization is reporting an increase in available antiretroviral drugs in Latin America and the Caribbean. PAHO's 2014 report reveals that the number of people receiving antiretroviral treatment in the region increased from an estimated 210,000 in 2003 to 795,000 in 2013. This represents 56% of those who need treatment and 44% of all people with HIV. In 2013, 106,000 people became newly infected with HIV in Latin America and the Caribbean. That's 9% less than in 2003. PAHO says new infections could be reduced even more through the implementation of a prevention strategy that combines evidence-based services and intervention based on the needs of those they serve. Stay with us. Sport is next.
Traveling the Caribbean has never been easier or more convenient. Go to Liat.com for super savings on fantastic Caribbean destinations. Click on the specials page for the latest promotions and fantastic deals. Go to the quick reference button for travel tips and baggage info. Sign up for travel insurance, which covers your entire trip. And sample Zing, our in-flight magazine with news and features on people and places. Just go with Liat.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to today's coverage of the National Collegiate Disc Golf Championships from North Augusta, South Carolina. We're proud to begin yet another broadcast season here on the Beat Sports Network.
There they are, your National Collegiate Disc Golf Team Champions, Georgia Regents University in nearby Augusta. And the traditional champions plunge into the upper pond for Georgia Regents will complete their 2014 NCDGC experience.
Independent economic impact study reveals that this year's Caribbean Premier League pumped $166 million into the region's economy, a 58% increase over the inaugural CLP, that's the CPL, in 2013. The study was conducted by sports research and analysis company SMG Insight. It says thousands of new jobs were created in tourism and travel across the region. There was a $25 million investment into host country St. Kitts and Nevis for the final. That's second only to Barbados with $28.7 million. CPL CEO Damian O'Donoghue says the results are a testament to the CPL's significance as an economic driver in the region. Regional cricketers are continuing to pay tribute to deceased Australian player Philip Hughes. Hughes died on Thursday, 2 days after being struck by a bouncer at a domestic match in Sydney. Players observed a minute's silence before the start of matches in the fourth round of the WICB Professional League today.
Watching his displays on the television, you can see he was a wholehearted cricketer, aggressive cricketer, and it's sad to see that someone of such a talented player like him go down in that way.
That's a sad news in the cricket fraternity right around the world. You know, when I lose a cricketer like Phil Hughes at age 25, it's sad, you know, but you know, I can't really say much about it. It's just devastating at the moment, but you know, we all know that the game of cricket will have to go on.
And that's the Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Have a good afternoon.